2 days later, I just started putting the pain down on Stapleton. So, and that's another reason why I feel like everybody thinks that I got a beef with Stapleton. I don't have a beef with Stapleton. I had a beef with anybody that was involved in the murder of my brother.
So what, you just started running down over there and just blaming at their
Everything.
projects?
Everything. I was making them go in the house. I would jump out on Broad Street and just chase niggas. I'd go through the projects and just chase niggas. My brother got killed in Stapleton. So I always tell people it ain't got nothing to do with that. The family that I got beef with don't got nothing to do with don't got nothing to do. This is before my brother was even murdered.
Your brother grew up with you in West Brighton?
Yeah. Yeah, my brother. It's my oldest
He was
brother.
hustling in Stapleton?
No, my brother was leaving he had just came from the feds. He was in a program in Harlem. So he took the ferry home and was fucking with a chick in Stapleton. And he didn't know that my other cousins and them tried to kill a nigga in West Brighton, and he went to Stapleton around his people. So my brother coming from the program didn't know that the dude was out there. And when my brother came out there, the dude pulled out, and my brother was like, "Yo, you know what you got to do with that now? You got to shoot me." And he was like, "Yo, just tell your people." I got the whole story. A couple people I met in Stapleton when after I came home from prison, I went to get the real full story because I went to the funeral in Staten Island from Rikers Island. And everybody was kind of like scared to say. Anybody from Stapleton that came around me just was copping pleas. Yo, we ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? I'm all of them. I'm talking about everybody I met from Stapleton. So I'm not excluding no one. Anyone that I met on my 15 years, I ran down on from Stapleton, always said they had nothing to do with that, and they told me who did it. Every single one of them. And nobody stand up for nobody. So, with that being said, I came home, to do my due diligence, and that's when I found out, actually one of my man's little brothers, the one that passed the ratchet off to kill my brother. You know what I'm saying? So it was some disturbing news, and that shit got hot for a little minute, and people think that I got a beef with the whole Stapleton. I never had a beef with the whole Stapleton. One of my right-hand mans, bless his soul, Silas, was from Stapleton, and it was his little brother that passed the ratchet off. So he turned himself in. He turned himself in. He was in Florida. He went to Florida and caught his brother, caught his moms, without going into detail and shit. And he went to Florida, and his rat ass uncle was the one paid for everything, and he turned himself in, talking about he was in fear for his life. We handle our own business, man. So, because a lot of people are saying, well, why you had all that power in prison, why you ain't get him hit? I said, number one, I never in my life sent the hit on nobody. That's number one. Number two, that's a family thing. That don't got nothing to do with blood. That don't got nothing to do with, who I am on the streets of Staten Island. That was a misunderstanding that, had to get handled amongst us. And it's handled. So, I wasn't trying to kill everybody in Stapleton, but I was running down because I didn't know. If you're not in the know and you know that Stapleton is hiding a nigga out that your family tried to kill, you run it down on everything. I would, would think that you would too. So, he turned himself in. He wrote an apology letter to my moms. And not that, we was going to court because, me and my brother talked my moms out of going back to court. He's like, man, just leave this shit. But, that's her oldest son. That was her, that was her pride and joy and all that. And, he was the one that held the family together, getting crazy bread, doing all that shit. And she was hurt. But me and my brother didn't go to court. And, we couldn't anyway. They had what was it? I think it was 100 feet or 100 yards ordinance against Tyrone Reddick and Mitchell Reddick. That's me and my brother's name. And we couldn't be, anytime he went to court, we could. And my brother actually had a court date the same day he had a court date, and they actually moved my brother's court date back, so we couldn't be in the same building. because he told the feds that we the leader of the Bloods and he's gonna die and get killed and all that shit. So
How much time he got for that?
he copped out. He got something like a 5 to 15, 5 to 10, something like that. He copped out, took the police to where the weapon was and all that. Like, he cooperated fully, and then he cooperated against me and my brother.
What year was that? When he
96. Yeah. My brother got killed September 10th, 1996. Stapleton Projects. Keith Reddick. They call him Chinaman or BD. Yeah. That's all factual, man. Exactly how it went down, everything. No filter, no nothing. Yeah. Son came home, I think somebody got at him, survived that, I think he started smoking crack, and then disappeared. Nobody found. To this day, I don't know, really. I don't think nobody ever found or ever know where he at. Not like I've been asking, but he just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened to him. But I beat his brother senseless in Pathmark when I caught his brother. Me and my cousins from Jersey was in Pathmark, and his brother walked in with some dudes, put him in the hospital, and they said my mother ran down on his mom's in Port Richmond, and you know how that shit went. But outside of that, as far as anything else, I don't know where he at there. For all I know, he dead somewhere. Or strung out somewhere, I don't know. But and this is like I was telling the brother, Dennis the Menace, Ghostface, his right hand man, which is Shaheem's uncle. And me, we was in the bullpens together. Ain't nothing happened to me. Bro, you see me, bro, I'm 5'10", 160. I mean, dudes didn't want no problems. From Stapleton. And I want to put this out there because the dude Queens Flip, because they hit me up about an interview and shit back in last July. And he was up there and gave some misleading statements, man. Like, I turned blood because I was scared of his family and a whole bunch of... I remember I was blood way before. I'm one of the first 100 Bloods in New York. I was blood way before my cases in 97. I was like, come on now. So I was like, I went back and looked at it, and I kept dissecting, and I was like, yo, this dude is really trying to get me to get on this internet shit, like lying and all this. So that's one of the reasons why I did the interview. To set the record straight, like, yo, fam, look, I was blood way before the incident even happened. You know what I'm saying? His family didn't want nothing with my family in the street. And I was in Comstock with his father and his uncle, who got the 103 years. They call him up there fucking with homos. I was up there with Un. I was up there with Bip and Bob. I was up there with, you name the... Told the police, because we went to the box together, shackled together, and his sister's the one testified on me. And I told him when we get off this bus, we gonna do what we do, just keep it cordial. We came from Elmira, was going to Orleans S Block, both shackled together. When you get off the bus, you go right in their little thing, that little room over there. They take the shackles off the bus, and then he told the police, and they sent him on the other side. We were supposed to go in the bell together. So, like, I was just sitting there in my mind, and then when I was talking to my cousins and them, who ain't affiliated, they just was like, yo, I wouldn't be mad at you if you don't say nothing, but if it was me, I would address that. You know what I'm saying? So, I thought about it for a few months, and then I accepted the interview, and I set the record straight. Them dudes, They do a lot of lying. Them dudes wasn't really like that, man. Them dudes wasn't really like that. You know, like I said, I'm a call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Shala, which is Raekwon, yes, he was getting money. Method Man and my brother used to hang together every day. He used to come pick my brother up in the green Forerunner day. I mean, I think it was a Trailblazer, one of them little Trailblazer Forerunners, one of them shits, Money Green back in the days. Him and my brother Fly Tie used to smoke weed all day, every day when he was calling himself the Panty Raider. I remember when he first was rhyming. This is what I'm saying. Like, I had ties to these. I was able to travel the whole Staten Island. Nobody ever did nothing to me. So I don't understand where he got off implying like we were scared. But that's why if you go back to the video and you look at all the comments, everybody on Staten Island like, yo, what? That nigga Sean and them niggas had money. Them niggas was flying. Them niggas was shooting. Them niggas was doing it all. They legends. Like, they was going in on Shaheem for letting Queen Flip get him to lie like that. So it was just a whole bunch of nonsense. And I just came out my shell on that interview and just told the truth. I was like, yo, you niggas wasn't like that. They was not like that. Their strength came from Brownsville. Everybody that's from Staten Island know that's where they got it because of power.
What you mean, Power? What you mean, Power was originally from the Ville?
Well, that's where he's from. He's from Brooklyn, but I believe he's from Brownsville.
I ain't know, but he looked like a Brownsville nigga.
Yeah, he was the name. He's the one that started the Woo Wear. They opened the Woo store on I think it's Vanderbilt. He's the brainchild of all of that. Dudes didn't have no power. And I'm not saying that to disrespect them, because they already rap legends. They got millions. But what I'm saying is the truth is the truth. If you're going to speak the truth, you got to stand in your truth. Just like how I said, yeah, I lost the Stapleton niggas before. My brother was killed in Stapleton. So niggas took losses, but don't lie about it. You know, y'all didn't want no smoke. Yo, man, all the way honestly, you could ask dudes from Stapleton, man. When I came through Stapleton, man, niggas went in the house. After my brother got killed, niggas went in the house, literally. It was a ghost town. You had maybe 4 or 5 niggas that get busy that stayed outside and was like, yo, what up, Sean? Because they knew there wasn't no beef with me.
So you said they hit your brother because your other brother did something?
No, my little cousin from Jersey and the little homie Machiavelli, the dude that killed my brother had ran off with some work. And he was sneaking out to West Brighton to see his mom's because he's from West Brighton. Mm-hmm. And they caught him, but couldn't get him. So they went to Stapleton to get him. And when they ran up on him in Stapleton, he picked up a little kid and ran through the park. So Machiavelli told my cousin, which is my co-defendant, this is all over now, so I can speak with my cousin Cool Cat, KK. They know him as Buddy. Buddy was going to clap him, but with the kid. But Machiavelli told him not to. Machiavelli, from 240 in West Brighton. And that, when they didn't do that, it left the door open for to kill my brother, who did not have knowledge of what had went on earlier that day. That's how it went down. That's the God's honest truth, everything step by step how it went down. And unbeknownst to my brother, some West Brighton dudes already ran through Stapleton and tried to get him. So Stapleton's on edge once they see my brother Chinaman come through. They don't know if he's coming through to finish it. They don't know if he's coming through to scout and be like, yeah, them niggas is out here. They don't know nothing.
What year you said this was again? 96?
Yeah.
So it wasn't no cell phones and none of that where niggas could have called son and told son, none of that.
Well, my brother was coming. You have to understand, my brother was coming from the federal program. He had the program. He had to go through a drug program in Harlem, up there in Harlem somewhere. And when he was coming back, we didn't know he was coming to go to Staten. See what I'm saying? Like I said, when you young, we not thinking ahead of like, yo, make sure Keith don't go to Staten, because we don't even really know he fucking with a broad in Staten. You know what I'm saying? Because I was raised up with his baby mother, which is Steph Love's sister. And his other girl, which is Amy, that lives in New Brighton today. And and Jocelyn, his baby mother, his only child's mother, She's originally from Webster Projects, and she was living in Manus Harbor. That's how they met. So I was fucking with them. So I didn't know he even had a chick over there. You feel what I'm saying? And then you have to also realize I was in C-74 at the time. No, matter of fact, I was in HDM at the time when he got killed. I was in HDM 1 block when he got killed. When they converted 1 block into general population, when they kicked everybody out and sent them to the pound. I was one of the first people to go down there with me and my boy Kyle from Best Style, the homie. We was doing our thing, our numbers down there. You know how the Asian is, so we was doing our numbers down there, and that's when I called home, because I called home and was talking to him earlier that day, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna come see you, because he would usually leave there and come see me, you know, on visit days. Whenever his visit days whenever his program days land on my visit day, he would come see me. My little Spanish brother meet him, and then they'll come here to see me. You know what I'm saying? So I called home and talked to him. He's like, yo, I'm gonna come check you, man. Just hold your head in there. Your book's good, all that, you know, all that big brother shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. And I called back that night, and that's when they was like, yo, I heard my brother Fly Ty's baby mother crying and shit. You know, I'm not thinking none of that. Far from it. And so my brother got on the phone, my brother crying. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on now? My brother don't cry at all. So now I'm thinking it's my mom's. So he couldn't even talk to me. So Helgi got on the phone, was like, yo, they killed Keith. And all I know is when I woke up, I was in the bullpen. I spazzed out and I blacked out. And they sent Dizzy, Infrared, Frank White was in the building. They sent all of them dudes down there, Gangsta Dre. They sent all of them dudes down to the bullpen to talk to me, because I kept telling them that I'm going home. They said that they was like, yo, this dude he down there, you got one of your big homies down there, this nigga just keep trying to leave, and he can't do that. And I had blacked out. And that's, you know, that's how it went. Then my peoples came and set it up. I went to the funeral. They had a funeral here, and then they had a funeral at our hometown in South Carolina, and I went to that funeral, mad security and all that other shit like that out there and everything. And once I left there, I just was like, yo, I'm gonna find out everything. And I was on it. Like I said, I was running down on everything from Stapleton, man.
So you came home from the island like months later or something?
I wound up getting revoked and restored, and that's how I came home. See, I was on a violation. I was on a violation for a gun charge that they never found the gun because I tossed it. But you know how that shit is. I got police contact. They sent me to the island. I went to Brooklyn House. From Brooklyn House, went to the H. I'm in there going back and forth to board court and all that shit over there. I think it's something in Queens. I forgot. Starts with an L. But was going back and forth, and then I got revoked and restored. So when I got back, I just left everything in the car and went home. My brother came and picked me up, and you know, went to go see my shorty. 2 days later, I just started putting the pain down on Stapleton. So, and that's another reason why I feel like everybody thinks that I got a beef with Stapleton. I don't have a beef with Stapleton. I had a beef with anybody that was involved in the murder of my brother. So
what, you just started running down over there and just blaming at their projects?
Everything. I was making them go in the house. I would jump out on Broad Street and just chase niggas. I'd go through the projects and just chase niggas. You know? And just chase them down. Some I robbed, some I just pistol whips, some I let go. I just was giving them niggas pain. Every time I was coming out there, y'all niggas couldn't be outside. Nobody. Like I said, it was a couple, about 4 or 5 dudes that, you know, but it was respectable because they had already let it be known before I even came home. They had conversations with my brother Fly Child, like, yo, I mean, we don't got nothing to do with that. We don't fuck with that dude. And that ain't, you know, we don't want y'all to bring that over here because we don't got no beef with y'all neither. And you know, my brother, even though Chinaman was a love dude in Staten now, nobody really liked it. My brother Fly Top, you know, nobody liked it. My brother Fly Top. Everywhere he went, you know, he's a model nigga. You know, good hair, gold teeth, mad jewelry, very flamboyant. pushing all the fly whips, getting brick money. Niggas ain't really like him. He was fucking all them dudes. That's how him and Dennis the Menace got in it, because he was smashing one of his shorties. And when the situation happened where where word had got back to my brother when I was in Auburn that a certain Wu member was trying to put money on my head, my brother ran down on that certain Wu member and told him, buck for buck, something happened to my brother, you would not be able to do nothing out here. And for what I'm hearing, they got into a heated exchange, and I'm still talking to you on the phone, so obviously it ain't turned into nothing.
You ended up going to jail for doing something to Shaheem?
I never did nothing to Shaheem. See, that's the whole thing. A lot of people that was in the club that night even believed that I did. The whole Shaheem issue started because, see, Shaheem and his little peoples, you know, Bip and Bop of the twins, and another nigga they had that wound up killing my homegirl, smoking dust and shit. And my cousin Buddy, Cool Cat, his baby moms live in MTP. I was telling you about earlier in Markham Gardens, and Shaheem was, I guess, fucking her. But my cousin don't fuck with her no more. But his sons did. You know what I mean? That's his baby mom. So he's going down to see his son one day, and them dudes pulled back out on him. This is how it all started. Dudes backed out on him. It wasn't no jealousy and all this. Like, anybody, you could go read the comments on the joint where dudes was laughing at Shaheem for that shit. Like, nigga, what? There's one thing about that, anybody tell you, West Brighton, Sunshine, Fly Tie, Chinaman, oh, we legends, man. Niggas did it all. The shit that they rap about, we done did that shit at teenagers. Literally. And I ain't no pat on my back or nothing. Ain't about no ignorance and shit. But dudes backed out on Cool Cat. That's my little tribe. I blooded him in. That's my tribe. And he's my blood family from Jersey. So you know, he let that thing go. So he's like, oh, all right, they got the drop. He couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do nothing with his son there. So I come from Jersey. We up the block. The bloodhead at the time, Rhonda, she was having a party at the underground. So she's at the underground. She told us to come through. She had hit me up and was like, yo, pull up, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's my birthday party, boom, boom. Like, all right. Now, we know Rhonda and them is from Park Hill, so we didn't think a lot of Stapleton dudes was going to be there. Nobody's thinking about Shaheem at this point, bro. Nobody. Like, it's like, this dude, he's minuscule, bro. He's not nobody. And I'm not saying that with...
You was older than Shaheem, though, right?
I'm 2 years older than Shaheem. Yeah,
all
Shaheem's 45. I'm 47. And see, that's a misconception. Everybody think like Shaheem picked on somebody. Shaheem was in the streets before me. He was in the streets at 7, 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't pick on nobody. So at the end of the day, we don't know. None of this happened until we're getting ready to go to the underground. Like, the whole day passed. We didn't get to the underground till after 1 o'clock. The whole day passed. This happened with my cousin in broad daylight. We're in Jersey at Woodbridge Mall shopping and fucking with bras. We don't know nothing happened. So we all lit and we getting ready to go to the joint. So they like, yo, and my girl at the time called me out the window, was like, come upstairs. I'm like, yo, nah, I ain't fucking with all that headache shit, you know what I mean? Because her moms didn't like me. So I was like, man, I ain't fucking with that. I'm gonna hit you up. Because I used to hit the intercom and tell her to come downstairs. So we go down the block. That's when we just started mobbing. Like, every building, homies was like, yo, this is what we doing tonight. And it was like, yo, Rhonda party. Underground. Niggas going upstairs, getting the scraps, coming down, throwing vests on. You know, the regular hood shit. So I had let Blessed Dead, Shake Bank, and all of them take the same car that I'm talking about my brother bought me. I let 3 of them get in the car with all the guns. We're at Scotty's waiting on cabs. But like, it's late. Cabs don't come to the hood. 3 cab loads of females pulled up right on the corner of Scotty's, Henderson and Broadway. All the homies got it. I mean, we was laying across these chicks, all that. We just was like, yo, we'll pay for it, just take it. Because now all he has to do, so we don't get locked up, is take Henderson Avenue all the way down and then turn up and let us out at the corner of Jersey Street, which he did. So we all get out. We mob up to the joint. I wound up getting to a scrap with somebody at a dice game. They had a dice game on the side of a building. And when we went over there, the dude everybody had money up under their foot. And I was like, yo, my money good. So dude kind of like, how he push off a little bit, like, yo, nah, man, we rolling already. So I wound up just popping off on him, and then the whole dice game got robbed. Boom. So we over here doing what we do. We mob up to the club. Everybody's already hyped. We go in. Bounce is like, yo, ain't nobody trying to hit none of that. We just rushed the club. Ronda was like, nah, that's my people, sister in the dirt and all that. So we got like 30 people in without even getting searched, none of that. Paying, none of that. But we was on that type of time at the time. Like I said, it was ignorance. We was on that type of time at the time. So we get in there. I know of the situation. And Shaheem says this in the grand jury minutes, but flip that trial. The grand jury minutes, he actually said that I attempted to break the fight up, and that's when he noticed he was robbed and cut. Because I went over there and grabbed my cousin like, yo, chill. And his man hit me. Now, to be honest with you, everybody didn't pop. Shitty Brim and all of them didn't pop when Buddy and Shaheem was first initially fighting. Some homies jumped in. But when I got hit, it's like the whole club fought. Because you had homies from New Brighton, you had homies from the Harbor, Port Richmond, even the homies from Stapleton. Because the homie from Park Hill, he wound up getting shot in the leg that night. And he fucks with us, but he also fucks with Shaheem and them too. But when one of Shaheem's men came through and shot at us, the homie Harv got hit in the leg. So now at this time, I don't even know Shaheem's cut, but I know that he was robbed because mad niggas was running around with jewelry and was like, yo, I got the nigga shine. I heard niggas say I got the nigga shines. So I was like, all right. I wound up once somebody shot and Harv got shot, which he was standing behind me in the door of the club, that's when I was like, oh, them niggas want to go there. So that's when I ran to the whips, did all that, went and caught. I didn't know it wasn't Shaheem, the car. But it was 3 niggas in the car and a pregnant chick was in the back seat, and they parked right there on the side building in Stapleton. I think it was 27 Warren, I believe. And that's when me and Buddy ran up and tried to execute everybody in the car. That's why when you get the paperwork, it tells you it was all through the windshield, everything was headrest, but they all ducked. This is all black and white. This could get pulled up.
And what y'all thought somebody else was in that car?
We thought Shaheem was in the car because it was his car. He had a red Maxima with red tints.
But it actually was his car, just a similar.
It was his car, but he wasn't in it. I didn't know he got cut. He's at the hospital while his shooters got the car. So the chick that's 8 months pregnant in the car is the dude's sister, Tanisha. She's the one that came on the stand and got me convicted too. She testified, like, I'm feared for my life, I was pregnant. I saw Sunshine, which is Mitchell Reddick. I saw him point the gun and I thought I was dead, and he just let off. We heard about 30, 40 shots. This is all trial transcripts. It's all black and white. Anybody can go get it. It's public information. So after I thought, to be all the way honest, bro, because that's the reason why I went out of town, because I thought we killed everybody in the car. We emptied that bitch and ain't nobody get hit. Like, dead ass serious. I don't know if it was some type of spirit around that car, nothing. I don't know what it is. But we emptied that motherfucker. And everybody survived.
And which it was two of y'all hitting?
Yeah, me and my cousin. Me and Buddy. Me and Buddy.
That's crazy.
And I know, that's why to this day it bugs me out. Like, you know what? certain things happen for a reason. You know, I don't try to put spirituality on everybody, but yo, somebody was praying for them dudes. But after that, we runs into the projects. This is how ignorant we are. We runs into the projects and catches this man, pistol whips his man, and leaves him near the incinerator. He tells us everything. That's how we knew he was at the hospital. So we sent some bloodettes up to the hospital. They had this nigga, the fucking emergency room surrounded with police. Right then, we knew they was going to town. That's why we jetted. And once they started like really coming down on us, we snuck back to West Brighton one time to go see this nigga buddy's baby mother. Yo, let me just see my son, and then we gonna go downtown, blah, 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 blah. And we walking, no lie to you. When we got to the corner of Broadway and Henderson, we heard a helicopter. And we like, damn, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, what the fuck is a helicopter? But we not thinking about, when we got to the fields, there's a park across from Scotty's called the Fields. When we got there, bruh, it looked like the whole 120 precinct, 122 precinct, the whole field lit up. Somebody had already told on us coming through the projects. We didn't know there was a reward, none of that shit. We didn't know none of that. And we wasn't looking at the news back in the day. We didn't know none of that. And somebody seen us, called it in, and they was waiting on us, because when they said that they gave the direction where we was going, they knew we was going to the Markham homes because there's nothing else there. And they jumped out on us and flashed the helicopter light on us and all that shit, locked us up. And I ain't see the streets till 15 years after that. Shaheem testified against me, Tanisha testified against me, police testified against me, and a federal agent testified against me, where they already had a investigation going on against me and my brother. And this is all proven, factual. That's why when he did that interview, I was like, what? And a lot of people that seen the interview was hitting me up like, yo, Sean, what the fuck is it?
So
and
you,
I wasn't
so you came on after he did that interview. You went on another joint and you told the story about what happened to them niggas?
Yeah, I went on the New York YouTube blogs because they reached out to me behind that interview. And that's how I told I didn't tell the full story. Now, you right now is getting full exclusive details, everything. Like, names, all that. And anything that I'm saying can't nobody get locked up for. Everybody did their time for it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just giving you the raw details, real shit happened that, you know, this is what it is. Shaheem used to try to talk to my little sister, right? And because my little sister was talking to King Just. You know, just some boyfriend, girlfriend shit, checking each other out and all that. Wasn't no real, like, fucking and all that.
What you mean, King? You talking about King Just, the rapper?
Yeah. Good dude, he cool. I ain't got no issue with him.
He from Stapleton?
From Park Hill.
Oh.
And the issue happened because Shaheem and his mans and them backed out on my little cousin at his baby mother's crib. At my cousin baby mother. That's how all of the shit happened. It didn't happen over no jealousy or niggas didn't. That's why when he's saying that shit on Queen's Flip, I'm sitting there, you gonna allow Queen's Flip to get you to lie like that? Like that shit, it started bothering me because I'm on the Queen's Flip interview with him. I didn't even know that I was like, I'm calling you right now, but you don't tell me until we're minutes into the conversation that, yo, Queen's Flip is on the line too.
You said you was on the interview with him?
I was on the interview with him, but see, he didn't put the full interview out until weeks later. So I don't know that part of the interview, because me and Shaheem was talking. And I told him on open air, like, yo, I don't want no beef with you, bro. That's just years ago. I'm a changed man, and from what I'm hearing, you are too. Because, you know, I still got satellites in New York, so I'm hearing shit. You know, so at the end of the day, I'm giving the nigga his props, like, yo, leave that shit alone. And they was asking whether he stolen all that, and I was just like, yo, look, like I told Fly, I was like, yo, look, whatever happened, man, I forgive you. Don't worry about it, it's done, it's water on the bridge, man. We talking 20-something years ago. And Shaheem was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That shit is dead, and blah, blah, blah. But now, when I'm off the phone, it is still an interview. So when it drops, my inbox is going crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? And so that's when I consulted with some elders of mine, and they was on some shit like, yo, you know, if you don't say nothing, because he said, you know, the elders I talked to, like, yo, you know how they'll twist this internet shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't say nothing, it's cool. We know the truth. But if it was me, I stand on truth all across the board. I'm going to say something. So I was stuck in, you know, getting my life together down here, because now I coach little league basketball and football, baseball. You know what I'm saying? I got kids now. You know what I'm saying? I'm married now. So it's like, damn, if I get back into that pot, you know, shit, I'm one of the ones that the feds miss.
And yo, if you appreciate what I'm doing over here on this channel, feel free to hit that Cash App up with that donation, you heard? That PayPal is heavily in effect too. You heard? That Venmo is Gen Pop Laz. If there's a way to get that cash, I got it, you heard? Hey yo, y'all go make sure y'all check that single and video by the bro Papa Bands. You heard, repping that QU. I mean, go to Meet the Connect TV, find the video, drop a comment, tell them Z-Man, Suicide Polo with the Ski Man sent you. You heard? Go to Instagram, make sure y'all follow the bro. Shout out to Goat Lady for putting us on.